All right, Holy Light by Phil Wickham. He plays it tuned down. On the recording, you hear it tuned down a half a step. And so basically you just take all the strings and move them down a half a note. So E becomes E flat, A becomes A flat, etc. I'll have all those notes down in the description if you're not 100% sure what they should be. But once you get it tuned there, we've got a bunch of kind of interesting kind of open shapes. So the beginning and the verse part starts out with a B chord, and I'm calling it a B chord. Obviously, since I'm in a drop tuning, this is a B flat chord, but I'm just going to use the standard chord names as if I'm not tuned down. So B chord's going to be played like this. You're going to use your index finger on the 7th fret of the low string, and then hold down the 9th fret on the next two, the A and the D, and then the 8th fret on the G string, and then you're just going to leave the top two open. So you get this nice open dissonant sound. The next chord is a C sharp minor. You're going to play that by holding the 9th fret on the low E string, and then you're going to actually mute the next string with that finger as you hold that. And then, so mute that A string, and then you're going to hold the 9th fret also on the D and the G string. And then, just like the first chord, you're going to leave those top two open so you get this. So the next chord is a little more common. So it's basically it's an E with higher shape, so it's up higher on the neck. So you're going to play the open low E. And then you're going to hold the 7th fret on the A string, the 9th fret on the D and the G, and leave the top two open. So and then the next chord is kind of a dissonant, weird F sharp. You're going to hold that exact same shape, except you're going to move the A string up 2 frets, and you're not going to play the low E. So that's nothing on the low E, and then 9th fret on the A, D, G, and then open on the top two. So you play those chords basically in that order: B, C sharp, E, F sharp, and he just kind of does a solid down strum, and so the beginning sounds kind of like this. We have come, and now we will wait for your love to move, for your light to break. Start a movement here as we call your name. Let your glory fall like a holy rain. All right, so that's the verse. So when we get to the pre-chorus, we've got some bar chords. So the first one is going to be a G sharp minor. You're going to hold that, just kind of standard bar chord for it. You're going to hold down 4th fret, low E, 6th fret, A, D, and then the rest of them also 4th fret, just like that. Next chord is going to be an F sharp chord. It's a major chord, so it's slightly different, but go down to the 2nd fret and bar. So 2nd fret on the low E string, 4th fret on A, D, 3rd fret on the G string, which makes it a major chord, and then 2nd fret on the bottom two. So E chord, exactly the same thing, 2 frets lower, which means you get to use open stuff instead of having to bar it. So it's open, 2nd fret, 2nd fret, 1st fret, open, open, E. And then that covers the pre-chorus. Once we get into the chorus, there's going to be a B chord, which is played with 2nd fret, 4th fret, 4th fret on the A, D, G. So A, 2nd, D, G, 2nd, 4th, 4th, and then open on the top two. And then a C sharp chord, which is played exactly the same, except move it up. So it's going to be 4th fret A string, 6th fret D, 6th fret G, open, open, just like that. So that the pre-chorus and the chorus will go like this. It'll go, terrorized, hearts be awakened in this life, earth will be shaken. Oh, 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 yeah! pre-chorus. So that rhythm's kind of funky. You'll probably have to practice that a little bit. I did to get it down, but it's just like that, and that's the B, C sharp, G sharp, F sharp, down to that E. So you might notice me every once in a while with that E, adding another note to it. What I'm doing is make it a major 7th chord, which you hear sometimes on the recording. To do that, you hold your standard E shape, and you could do an E major 7th down here, but it doesn't really sound like what's on the recording. So I'm reaching up with my pinky and I'm holding 4th fret on the B string, which gives it kind of that dissonant sound, which you kind of hear here and there on the recording. So I like to throw it in, but that's just for bonus. So getting into the chorus. So once you finish that riff at the beginning, you kind of go in, you'll just hold that E and then play the riff again. So it goes kind of like this. God who reigns over earth and sky, flood this world with your holy light. Start a fire that will never die, flood this world with your holy light. So, and then it'll go back and it'll do another chorus or another verse, another pre-chorus. And then we get to the 2nd chorus, which will have a different ending. So I'm going to start basically with the 2nd half of that chorus. It'll go like this. Start a fire that will die, flood this world with holy light, holy light, yeah. Shine your light, fire in your eyes, it's burning bright for you. So the chords for that are, like I say, once you get to the end of the chorus where you're holding that E, it's going to flood this world with your holy light. It's going to be an F sharp there. Holy light, yeah. Back to the E. Shine, shine your light. He goes up really high, and I'm not good at singing that high. But that goes to a B. Shine your light. Then back to the E. And then when you get the fire in your eyes part, it's going to go to a C sharp minor. The fire in your eyes. G sharp. E for you. So again, I'll do that whole section one more time. Holy light, yeah. Shine your light. There's fire in your eyes. It's burning bright for you. So, and then it'll start with the instrumental, which is basically the riff from the chorus. Dead bones back to life, flood this world with light. So that right there is the only time that little riff is different. Instead of going up to the C sharp minor, it walks down. So it's going to go B. And basically what I play for that, because it's kind of a weird chord on guitar, is I just move for the B, that 2nd fret down to the 1st fret and stretch and hold the same notes so it sounds like. So again, so beginning of that chorus, Bring these dead bones back to life. Flood this world with light. God, it rains over earth and sky. Flood this world with your holy light. Start a fire that will never die. Flood this world with your holy light. Flood this world with your holy light. So, and there it is, holy light.